Maybe. We'll see. We good? So I've been told to welcome you all, so welcome. I've done my job. We are really excited that you are all here with us. This is a year in the making. We've had such a terrific year with our bells. We've gotten to see so much development, especially from these four up here, which is some of them, it's their first time ever ringing a bell. And then you'll look at some of our ER1s and see how they've kind of grown from this level to an amazing level. Then we kind of recess with the adults again. But it's a lot of fun. It is. And we have so much good memories. And this year we also welcomed a traveling group from Germany, as well as went to Japan. We started off this year, kind of last summer, right? Over in Japan and playing, and then welcoming German group over here. So it's been just a fantastic year, and it can't be possible without the amazing work behind the scenes of ACO. And so let us give a round of applause for ACO.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out and coming for our afternoon of music. These ringers have been working since September, learning how to ring bells and ringing music and working along the way, and they've been doing a great job. These guys are third through 6th graders. Some of them just started, so this is their first year. Some of them just started in January. So they've really come a long way and have been learning a lot of different things. The next piece they're going to play is Come Thou Almighty King. They're going to start out with choir chimes and then play on bells. I wasn't ready, sorry. the next piece we're going to play is In the Hall of Mountain King. And the ringers are going to be using mallets. I have a couple of my alumni kind of filling out the choir so you can have the full effect. So they're going to be using mallets. Can you guys show them their mallets? They all got mallets. All different sizes. Every mallet has a different size, not all of them, but the bigger ones use bigger mallets, the smaller ones use smaller mallets. So using different ones. So the entire piece will be played on mallets in the Hall of Mountain King. All right, the next piece, I'm going to invite the adults to come up to join the ER2s to ring Sunday School. I know it looks like I made a mistake. It's not, instead of a sing-along, it's called a ring-along. So, and it has 3 pieces in it, 3 songs that will sound familiar. Includes the Bible, the Bible, and then Down in My Heart, and Hallelu, Alleluia. I just realized I put that in the program, so I didn't need to say that, but it's all right. And I think we're, some of the bells might be up there. What do you guys need? As they're finding their bells. So the ER2s practice once a week for an hour. And they come tired and with energy. So, and they're always very enthusiastic about ringing, so I appreciate that. The adults come for an hour and a half during the week. So an instrument should be played every day, but we can't do that with handbells. So having them once a week to run through all this music is a great opportunity. I appreciate their commitment every week for coming, and their parents who drive them, not the adults, the kids. I'm talking about. Right. I can stop talking. the next piece we're going to play is Prayer by Arnold Sherman. This is with the adult ringers, and I asked the couple of the ER1s to come and ring the low bells for us, and by doing that, we brought out the low chimes, which are back there, going to be played by Crawford and Dante and a couple of the pieces. So the low chimes, when you ring them by themselves, they sound like they're nothing, like you can't hear them. But in combination with the bells, all right, so Crawford, hit the low C, as you're supposed to. I know you can't hear it, right? When we play it with the bells, you'll hear it and it'll sound sort of like this low hum. It is coming from those chimes. So it's not the organ playing or anything. So you can listen for that. This is Prayer by Arnold Sherman. have the opportunity to play. We have the opportunity to play here in church during our church services, but we also have the opportunity to play outside the church. There are local festivals that we attend, as well as Pastor was just talking about international festivals. But we start locally. The adult ringers attended the Hudson Valley Handbell Festival back in April, and for that festival we prepare music. And everyone prepares the same music, and we arrive on that day and are directed by one director, and there's like 11 other choirs. When we went to the symposium in Japan, I totally blanked on how many choirs, but there are a lot. 30? I don't remember. 45? There's a lot more. But it gives them the opportunity to be directed by someone other than their usual director, because you know they're like a parent. If someone else tells them to do something, they do it better. So the adults had a great opportunity to play. And this is these are the two pieces that they're playing right now. Was on the festival program. This is Christ the Lord is Risen Today by Mitchell Eithun, and it's a familiar tune with a little bit of syncopation. Enjoy. So the ER1s are going to join the adult ringers playing Blessing by Michael Helman. And the great thing about handbells is you notice you can play at any age, really. All right, third grade enough. It kind of helps if you can read. So, but it's a wonderful instrument that, you, again, at any age you can play, if you can count to 4, maybe 6, maybe 12. So as long as you can count and determine between your left and your right, and it's sometimes difficult for most of us. But what they come with is enthusiasm, and that's what's the most important thing. So, Pastor was thanking me, but really the handbell program can't happen without the ringers behind us, right here, who ring. Still looking for music, sorry. I'll have to keep talking. So, saying hello to the people who are online. I know there's a lot of people who do watch us when we ring, and I often get notes and emails when we do play for service. So people do appreciate when we do play during service, and so I forget to tell you guys that, but I do get notes that people are like, so glad the ringers played during service. It was a wonderful addition to the service. So thank you very much for doing that. And thank you for those who are watching, like Edna and Paul. So just naming some people out there. I also have, like I said, it really takes a lot of ringers to make this happen. And I have a couple of alumni ringers that are on the back there. I know it looks like the adult ringers, there's a lot of people. And even with the ER1s, I think the only full choir, everyone from the choir that here is an ER2, so you guys win. All of you guys are here. But everyone's very busy with different activities, whether it's graduations or family things that are going on. So I appreciate my alumni who've come in to ring, which are Mio and Miyako and Cynthia. I think I put Cynthia's playing everywhere today. So, but they came for rehearsal, and because they've been playing for so long, they could just come in and ring. So, not everyone can just come in and ring, but I do appreciate those alumni who can do that. So, and to make the music that we are today. I can stop talking. Oh, and I want to thank Jessie too. Jessie runs around between the camera and playing. So, and without her behind the camera, people at home can't watch. So, thanks, Jessie. So while the adults have a seat and the ER1s move their way back down and shuffle all the bells around. So we're very fortunate that we have 2 sets of bells, one set of 5-octave bells and one set of 4-octave bells, so that we could play jointly. Not all groups have that opportunity to play with each other. So it's a great opportunity for them to be able to do that. I don't know, as a ringer, I don't want to really have someone like right sitting in front of me. These guys would be able to do it, but. So the last 2 pieces will be done by the ER1s. They are ringers ranging from 7th grade to 11th grade. I'm really excited because I have no one graduating, which is always a good thing. It's very sad for me. It's great for them to go on to new and greater things and new adventures, but it's always exciting for me when I don't have to say goodbye to them. So I almost had one of my adult ringers leaving, but he's not, so thankfully. So it's just how God works. So I have a couple of graduates who are ringing with the ER1s this year. I have Sonia and Paul, and, well, Jesse's been ringing with them. But, so it turned out when Paul graduated from high school, it was during COVID. And so senior year, I usually ask the seniors to pick a piece that they want to ring. So since he didn't have one, he got to do it this year, because I didn't have any seniors. So it's kind of funny how things work out. So the last piece we're doing is Toccata on King's Weston, which was his request. So, but before that, we're going to do a piece called Reviving Spirit. As you notice, there's some pieces that you've heard some familiar tunes, and there's some pieces that you're like, I've never heard that before. Because there are composers who compose just for handbells. And Jason Krug is known for he has a lot of things, whether it's familiar tunes or not. So this one piece, Reviving Spirit, is a composition winner for the area festival that we're attending in end of June. And that is an area festival where choirs from the area, which is New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, choirs from those states will come and ring together. So they prepare the same music, and then they ring under one conductor. The ringers will attend workshops and learn a lot more about ringing. They were looking at the workshops the other day and said, I don't know any of this stuff. I said, good, because you'll learn when you get there. Are we good? Okay, I can stop talking. Next piece is Reviving Spirit. Again, the last piece will be Toccata and King's Weston. They'll be playing on bells and there's hand chimes. The tune King's Weston will be played in the beginning, and what they've done in the middle, you might not know this, but I didn't know it either. When they play a certain part with the chime, the composer, Matthew Compton, another accomplished composer for handbells, he decided to do the melody backwards. So in the middle, you'll hear a different tune, and it's actually the King's Weston tune backwards. so much for coming and enjoying the music that we've played today. They've worked really hard all year. Actually, some of the music they just learned a couple of... Thank you very much. I will do my best. I will do my best. People know me about my green thumb, or not, or lack thereof. But every year I really do my best. Thank you very much. I really appreciate, I lost my train of thought. Dante, what was I just saying?
Oh, I don't know. We play a lot. Something about that.
So again, thank you very much for coming out. Some of the music they've just learned only a couple weeks ago. So they do have learned, and their learning curve goes it goes up pretty quickly. So thank you very much from the youngest ringers to the oldest ringers, and for those who've been playing half a year to over 20 years, maybe 25. There's a lot of those. So I'm going to give Pastor the microphone to send us on our way.
Because we just have to compete with you guys.
There's no competition.
Happy, from all of us, happy 46th year for Handbell Fire. So we recounted and recounted and recounted. So we thought it was 45, but it's 46, which is great because we're closer to 50 than ever before. You know, last year I did that with myself. I thought I was ordained for 14 years. I went home and my husband said, no, it's not 14 years, it's 13. It may feel like 14, but it's only 13. So, you know, counting is not our thing, but we wouldn't be who we are today without Eiko. So let's give another round of applause. And so as you go home this day, as the music continues in your hearts and in your heads, as those earworms reverberate inside your brains, may you continue to give thanks for the wonderful music that we have been presented this afternoon. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. If you're new to handbells and want to ring a bell, please come up. The ringers will be happy to teach you. So I promise I will not recruit you. But we welcome anyone.